recommend. If you can work in game industry, you can work in any other industry, and that's what I actually did.
Wordle.ai presents Game Dev and All Tech.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Game Dev and All Tech. I'm your host, Will Bohn, and sponsored by Wordle.ai, which is the platform for democratizing game distribution for game studios. So game studios can reach your audience anywhere across the world, across all platforms. Thanks again. Our guest for today is Michiko Kakiya from EnFi. Hi. Thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much.
And as of recording, it's October 2nd. So we're right after TGS and trying to freshen up and kind of catch our breath. But Michiko, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So hi everyone. I'm Michiko Kakiya, founding partner of EnFi Game Fund. EnFi is a Tokyo-based game fund, but it's not just normal game fund. It's fund of funds format. So we invest in game funds globally, based from here in Tokyo. So we started in 2021, and first fund we focused on the Nordic region. So we invested in Swiss game fund and other game companies. But second fund that we are raising and running right now is called EnFi Global Game Fund, and we invest in only game funds outside of Japan. And and our LPs are mainly game investors, game companies, not only Japanese, but outside of Japan as well.
Awesome, that's great. And what led you to start EnFi?
Yes, so it's a long story. I started my career from Sony's PlayStation team, and there back in 2000 early 2000, and there I started. I worked as game tools accelerator program. I learned that program, and I met many game tools startup companies. And back then I met like Unity, Epic Games. These are after 10 years, these became really big. So I realized game investment is really interesting. And actually, after I left Sony, I moved to investment bank and started to invest in listed game companies. But since I had an experience of meeting these startup game companies growing too big, I felt like I should invest in game startups company. Awesome. But there's no game funds in Japan, so I decided to start my own.
Awesome. And then what made you decide to do the fund of funds approach instead of also doing direct investment into game companies as well?
Right. The first of all, the reason why I wanted to invest in global outside of Japan is because in Japan, the game investment concept isn't really it's not that big. Like many companies, many indies do fund by themselves.
Right.
But in overseas, there are so many game investment happening. So that's why I wanted to reach out to that. And while I'm in Japan, can I do that? Should I maybe trust local fund managers overseas? And that's how I decided to invest in game funds instead of game startups directly.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what do you think are the reasons that those sort of ecosystems for Japan, funding themselves versus overseas is different?
Yeah, it's a good question. In Japan, game ecosystem is more like top down. Yeah, big players like big publishers will have a developers function as well, and that developer function use the subcontractor, and that subcontractors are like indie developers, and
Right.
these indie developers do the subcontracting job and make money, and like that profit will go to new game on their own.
Right.
So that's the ecosystem in Japan. But overseas, it's totally like not top down. It's more like flat, and it's through investment. So like big player invest in startups, and like that funding is used to make new games. And if that's doing well, then the big player may be doing the M&A, acquire.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how like the it's more like funds are circulated in the game ecosystem. That's the overseas ecosystem. While
Right.
Japan's like funding goes up to down and never come back.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's why I believe in investment more than like subcontractor,
Right.
like ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay. So is that something that you think will change in Japan, especially given I know Japan, JETRO, and all these other government organizations are starting to do a lot of things to try and sort of boost the unicorn
Right.
ecosystem, or creating all these unicorns here in Japan. Do you think there's going to be a change here in Japan?
Well, I really feel like it has to be changed within the gaming industry. Maybe like the government trying to bring the foreign investors to Japan, that may help. But like the game industry inside, like players have to change their mind. And we introduced the game investment concept in 2021 when I first set up my NP fund. And that time, like, not many people know about like game investment style or like game VCs. But now, so that time, like, and compared to back then, now, like, Bandai Namco set up their fund.
Yeah.
And big players started to be aware of like this game investment concept, whether they will adapt that to their own business. I'm not sure, but like at least like they're aware of this investment concept. And also like I have many like inquiries from like indie developers that they want to get funded. So, unfortunately, EnFi don't invest in startups directly right now, but yeah, so like both bigger players, like established players, and like the startup players, I think that the investment concept is more like, it's not familiar, but like it's like how do I say, like they are more aware of it now.
Right. It's starting to change,
right.
In a very I guess Japanese way, with more of these CVCs coming out of the established players. So and then hopefully these some studios can get funding and from the CVCs and circulate, and we get a good ecosystem going here. So it looks like we're at a start of something. Hopefully,
I would say so. I would say so. So in fact, I was interviewed in this year's game Whitepaper in Japan. So which is kind of like I hope that's gonna be like a history of like first page of the game investment history. Yeah.
Awesome. And then out of some of the work that you've done, and the funds and everything. Are there any that kind of stick out in terms of maybe funds that you would like to highlight as part of your portfolio?
Well, actually, I like all of my portfolios.
Of course.
But like the when I started my fund, my first portfolio was Game Ventures in Finland.
Uh-huh.
And that's that fund has many things that I really like about, like as I said, I want to trust local fund managers.
Right.
So like they will choose their local startups to invest,
Right.
and like I will have that like these startups will be also my portfolios.
Right.
Portfolios, right? So like the Game Ventures, they had the very local fund manager with very deep network and like very like his own network.
Yeah.
So that was really great. And Finland is like, there Unity, Candy Crush is Nordic, yes, Sweden. But like Sweden, Finland, there are many like good mobile games as
Right.
well. Like Rovio, Supercell, they used to be startups as well, and like they grow like global company now. So I like that. I was interested in that area. Why the game in the game economy really grew within the really short time. So I think through that investment in Game Venture, I really found out why, and like we even visited every year since we invested. I took this as well, and like it's a great area with sauna as well. So yes, that portfolio is really I would say that I was lucky to find that one. Yes.
Why do you think? I guess I heard this from other people too. Is like the Nordic region. There's a lot of gaming companies coming out of that region. Do you think there's any specific reason why there's lots of these gaming companies coming out of that region?
Yes. I would say there are two reasons at least, and one is that like they're a small company. I mean, small company. The population is like 500 million or like really small. The population, so like they cannot succeed. I mean, like even they succeed, like their games succeed in their regions, it won't be big overseas. So from the beginning, they make games for global audiences.
Right.
So that's really different from for example Japan. Like Japan, all the not all, but like most of the game developers start from Japan and for Japanese audience, and if they succeed, they will go to overseas.
Or try to go overseas.
Or try to go overseas. But like when they try to go overseas, they have to add new global members, which is like double the cost.
Right.
Like if from the beginning, if they're like really global mindset, then they don't have to spend the cost twice or time twice, right? So I think they are really good at like looking to like overseas or global. So that's one reason. And the second reason is that since there are they're like Unity, Supercell, Rovio, these companies became big.
Yeah.
That there are many talented people there.
Right.
And like it's not like Japan. Like people work for one company and like they work there for 30 years.
Right.
Yeah. So like they experience the big company a bit and then graduate and start studio or like that ecosystem is there.
Mhm.
And the government helps, like
Right.
government um it will support funding as well. So yeah, I would say that's two things different from Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then I guess the real big takeaway for everybody watching and listening is that having that global mindset from day one, um, as you're creating your organization or your studio or even your game is super key to uh, long lasting success. So
I would say so. Yeah. Especially it's a game. Game is for everyone. So
it should be for everybody.
yeah, it should be for everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
And then as you look across the different markets, I mean, obviously you've got your funding in many different regions. Also the US, India, etc. As you kind of look across all of these regions, what would you say are some differences between the different regions where you're investing in? And some trends maybe that you also see.
Yeah. Depending on where you invest in, the trend is really different. And for example, like Finland, they're very good. I mean, good at mobile gaming.
Right.
And but like in Sweden, I also invest in Sweden.
Yeah.
I saw more PC games.
Right.
To Estonia as well. Like it's next to like very close to Finland, but it's more like VR game.
Right.
And like India, it's more it's a mobile
Right.
industry, but like it's more like the industry itself is within India is really growing. So like
Right.
it, while like other areas are struggling to have a new to gain new users.
Right.
Like India has no issue with that. So like it's really like everywhere like if it's always different. Like you can see different trend in different regions. So that's why I want to invest in many different regions.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's so yeah, like I think it's not like before. Like before, like yeah, maybe like the game trend or like game device is like maybe a huge like console, PC, mobile. Now
Right.
like everyone can use many different games and like maybe Web2, maybe Web3. It's so different, and so yeah, like it's difficult to say what the game trend right now is.
Right.
So that's really interesting to find out when I invest in different regions.
Right.
Mm.
And I guess that's a shameless plug for Wordle, that because it's a platform that covers all the bases for platforms. Then game studios can kind of hedge their risks on where they find the hit basically.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you've kind of seen some of the things kind of evolve, and we're seeing new devices coming out. For example, like Facebook also talking about they just announced kind of recently about I think some new, it's not VR, but like AR type of project, and that's going to be the new mobile phone killer.
Mhm.
I don't know if you had a chance to look at any of the sort of augmented reality sort of, the glasses that you wear. Have you had a chance to look at those sort of devices, and any thoughts on those?
No, I watched people trying it, but like
Yeah.
never touched it yet.
Right. I think was it XReal? They had a booth at TGS, but there was definitely a big line even on the business days. So.
Yes, yes. Even on the business day, there was a line. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got one.
How was? Did you try?
I've got one. I got one of the XReal Pro. I think
Oh,
I've
okay.
tried it. I don't think I'm using it right because I plug it in and then it's just like mirroring my phone screen. So I'm like, what? Like, I don't think I've discovered its full power quite yet. But I guess I think, and I was talking to some friends at Meta, and I do believe that part of the new set of maybe play devices is I don't think it's VR because I don't think like strapping a giant like thing on your head is very natural, but like wearing glasses, it feels a lot, and with like some transparency, you can see where you're going and things like that feels a lot more natural to me. So maybe it's I don't know if it's a smartphone or a mobile killer, but at least it's uh, maybe something that can help enhance the experience. I think that's what they're trying to do to start out with these devices, and hopefully those become. I think they'll become new devices for play as well.
That's right. So like these like new devices, and I would say like the the startups are more aggressive and trying to make games for that. So that's why we cannot miss the trend in the startups or in these games. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just really need that passion and like, I guess aggressiveness towards new opportunities, so that you can kind of you know jump on these new technologies because these again, like you never know where games are gonna show up, so
Yeah, exactly. That's why like yeah. I mean, I hadn't said like everyone should focus on the new devices, but like definitely the startups will. So we
yeah.
should watch the startup trend.
Yeah, and I guess yeah, and then just kind of moving along, and wanted to talk to you a little bit about your history at Sony, and uh, when you were working with I guess was it PS2 and the PSP tools and middleware section. What were some of the big things that you kind of learned when you were doing that?
Okay, the actually like the reason why PlayStation team had the tools and middleware program is because like that when I joined the PlayStation team, it's now Sony Interactive Entertainment. But that time there were only like maybe less than 1,000 people within the group, and yeah, the entire function like peer or third party and everything included, it was 1,000. So like the R&D team was like maybe only like 200 people. So with that 200 people,
only 200 people.
Only 200 people. But like that's why like they cannot make the development tools for PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable and PlayStation 3. So that's why like they were aggressively looking for tools and middleware companies, third-party companies, and that was a tools and middleware group was doing like try to recruit these new startup companies, and that's why like I talked to many startups, and the technology these startups talk about that time was like was MMORPG or VR or voice recognition or these things. It's 24 years ago. So so actually like the what I learned is like game technology is really like high end. Like how do I say, like it's the technology will come to game first,
right,
and after that it will go to IT, then the last one will be the auto.
right,
So like game, like if you are in the game industry, you will see the most latest technology.
right,
Like all the developers working in the game industry is really like knowing these like latest technology.
right,
So that's what I done. That's why like when I decided to invest in something, I really wanted to invest in game, not only because like I like game, but also like the technology itself is really the latest one. So I can say like I am investing in in the latest technology of the world.
I think that's also proven by for example, NVIDIA. Now they started off with the gaming GPUs, and still to this day, like putting out the GPUs, but also like that same sort of technology is now being used to power all this AI technology that's going up there now. So super interesting to see how that has all evolved.
Right. Yeah. And like even like gamification is now I would say that's a trend. Gamification like for example Duolingo, it's a kind of gamification app, but it's not categorized as game. It's a more like educational app, right? So yeah, like the if you are in the game, you can like see what how the trend flows or goes going forward. Yeah.
Cool. And then I guess for people who are kind of interested in kind of getting into the gaming industry, and then perhaps working with some of your funds, what are some sort of things that they should uh, keep in mind as they're approaching your partners and things like that?
I mean, like I really recommend young generations to start working in the game industry or entertainment industry, but especially game industry, because it's a very global, and like it's as I said, it's a start of the technology. So like and like it's a fast paced industry. So like I really recommend if you can work in game industry, you can work in any other industry, and that's what I actually did. I started my career from game industry, then moved to financial industry or investment industry. Then now it's a mix of like game and investment industry. So yeah, that like yeah, if you are interested, you should really like try to approach companies in game industry, and it's not like there are not only like Japanese companies. There are many startups game companies, and also global established companies as well. So, and they some of them are accepting remote job as well, right? So
Right.
I totally recommend this industry. It has lots of potentials.
I know, some of your portfolio companies too. They post job openings for people.
Yes.
Looking.
Transcend
Yeah,
is the one that the MP invests, we invest, and
yeah,
they have the post hiring post for all the portfolio companies. So if you check LinkedIn Transcend LinkedIn page, you can
yeah,
find
yeah.
all the job posts.
So that's one way, guys. If you're trying to get into the industry, that's one
Exactly.
way
Yes.
for you to try to get your foot in the door.
Yes.
And then, are there any games that you're playing now that you're really excited about, or a game that maybe soon to be released that you're looking forward to?
I don't know. Actually, like I don't know. It's only in Japan, but like I like the since I'm female, I like the game called Otomege. Do
Uh-huh.
you know what
Yeah,
like
yeah,
game
yeah, yeah,
for females?
yeah, yeah.
Is it only in Japan? I don't know. But like
Like more storytelling type of.
storytelling types, and like I like the now I like the ensemble stars.
Oh, okay.
Ensemble star is like game boys boy band producing game. You produce the game boy bands
So
idol boy idol band. Yeah,
right.
I like that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. But I think that, I mean, some of those like story games and things, those are starting to catch on more and more overseas. So it's not just a Japan phenomenon. Hearing
Yes.
from other people,
In
it's
Asia. In
yeah.
Asia, it's a very popular. Yeah. Yeah.
But everybody in the US, you should also check it out.
Yeah.
It's common if it isn't there already. Um, and then just coming out from TGS, the Tokyo Game Show this year. Was there maybe pick one big thing that you took away from the Tokyo Game Show?
Um, I don't know. It's a took away, but I really felt like this year's players has
Mhm.
really changed.
Mhm.
Especially like I saw big booths of like Web3 related game companies,
Mhm.
like Polygon.
Yeah.
It's one of our portfolio companies. I mean, like our portfolio VC invested in Polygon. But yeah, like this new Web3 related game company had a big booth in TGS,
Right.
which wasn't like that last year or
Right.
the year before. So I think like maybe like Web2 and Web3 game, like there's no, how do I say, like
Starting to crossover or
right. I mean, like
yeah.
at least users don't care.
Right.
And like even like we went to the TGS, you can't like if you are just a normal user, you can't tell if this is a Web2 company, this is a Web3 company. We don't know, right? I mean,
Right.
like people don't know. So that's why like there will be, or there could be more crossover going forwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, I definitely agree with that thing, sort of thought too. I think the key is for all the blockchain and all this other technology and the gaming experience. It's important that like people don't focus too much on the maybe blockchain technology, but rather focus and make. I think what's more important is that we focus on the experience that the actual players have, and that it's an enjoyable one as game studios and people in that space, because otherwise, like I don't know, like younger people or older people or people who aren't like your core gaming group, like like be completely lost. Like, wait, I have to set up a wallet and what? Like, I'm so lost. So making that super streamlined and easy for people to just get in and play, I think is super important.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yes.
Awesome. And then yeah, I think we're kind of running out of time here. So as part of that, you get to pitch or promote anything that you want. So,
Sure.
Michiko, the floor is yours to pitch and promote anything you want.
Okay. So I mean, we are investment fund, so game focused investment fund. So definitely we yes we and we are running the second fund that's active. We are looking to invest in game VCs as well as we and also we are raising funds as well at the same time. So if investors want to invest or interested in investing in us, please come to me. Search me on LinkedIn, and also like any investment. I mean, any VCs that focusing on game would like to talk.
Awesome. And then what's the best way to get a hold of you? I think you mentioned LinkedIn, but and then you also have a website. What would be what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, LinkedIn, DM, or also we have a website and like contact form as well. So, but yeah, LinkedIn, DM.
Awesome.
Yes.
And that website is enfi.co.jp.
Correct. And you can search me on Michiko Kakiya.
Awesome.
On LinkedIn.
All right. We should put those in the show notes as well, so people can find you. Thank you again so much, Michiko.
Thank you very much for having me.
I've been your host, Will Bohn. And it's all supported by World AI, the platform for game developers to bring their games to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.